air drums is never as cool. It never looks as cool as you
As
feel.
you want it to feel.
No, just as you do feel. You can feel so badass with
So
air
true.
drums, and you just look so flippin' stupid.
Because you feel like you're hitting that moment. Because in your head,
because you're feeling it.
and you created the sound. In your head, you've done the sound. Your hand hitting the air made the sound that you're matching it to. But to other people, they're thinking, it's a song. You just moved your hand like that. So you're right. It looks really tweaky.
Yeah, me and Story and Easton were driving, and we were playing Sweet Home Alabama in the car.
I love Sweet Home Alabama.
Because it's a really fun song to drum to, and Story takes drum lessons. I have played drums in the past. And so we were really into the song, and we were like totally air drumming in the car. Like he was really practicing like his drum lesson, hitting it. And I was doing it with him. And then I was like, I'm that lame mom air drumming committedly with my kid in the car.
Totally.
And the window's down, and I feel cool, and I look so lame.
Just want it to look cool when you air drum.
And you, when you air drum, you feel like in your imagination, you're a great drummer.
Yes.
Because there's nothing at stake. You're not actually hitting a thing and actually being out
And
of
you
rhythm.
think you're making
so there's
the sounds.
a real wide margin there. And you just,
Hey, so listen, this is 2 in a row, but I got to do
God,
it.
I got more dark things on my face.
No, it's eyelashes. I just
I'm
think,
shedding. I'm falling apart.
No, I just think
I'm
that they're-
dehydrated, apparently. I don't know what's happening. I have my thyroid
gonna
checked.
not
What's
gonna do the
happening to
show
me? I'm
right
losing my hair.
You're not. Your hair is very thick. My plumber can attest to it. Our sinks that get continually stopped up can attest to your hair being very thick.
I'm so biting my tongue right now.
What?
Okay. I'm not even.
Oh, how did that? Did I not get
Oh,
it the
there's
first
a cute mama with her son walking down the street.
Well, if you comment
I'm
on
very
stuff the audience can't
sensitive. I
see.
just told them what it is.
Okay.
It's a
Jenna.
cute mother and her son walking down the street.
But
It
they
was
still-
sweet.
Okay.
You can't see her. She's got brown hair, cute shorts, and her son is looking at the chickens. And it was cute. And she smiled at me because our curtains are open. I get emotional about mother-son things.
Yes, but you get emotional.
I do.
Yeah, you're getting more emotional as our marriage is going on, as life is continuing forward and the earth is turning in circles around the sun. You've
Why
become
am I getting more emotional?
I don't know. Who cares? But I like it. I like emotion. I'd rather have emotion than some blocked off battle axe. It just doesn't. I like it. You're emotional.
But you know what you always do when I get emotional?
No, the kids do. I don't do it anymore. I used to comment on it.
You still do.
I stay the fuck. If I see you get emotional, I go somewhere else.
No, you
I get
like
very
you
anxious.
look at me like, oh, now, yeah. Then you taught Story to do it, so now Story knows if there's something happening and I'm gonna get emotional. He turns and looks at me like this to see if there's tears coming. I'm like in the moment, you know. I'm being moved by something, you know, like our military hero announcement at the Dodger game. Every Dodger game, they'll announce a military
You're
hero.
gonna make yourself cry right now by talking.
And they're
about this.
acknowledging him, and he's standing
You're gonna
there.
cry.
I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
Proud, being acknowledged by all of Dodger Stadium. And for me, I go into like my artistic, and it's like a combination of like my human side and my artist side holding hands.
I love you so much. Yes.
And so I go, like the military hero being announced at the Dodger game. And he's super decorated, and he's being acknowledged. Because, like, how often are these guys acknowledged, right?
Right.
Okay. And then the mother part of me, like
Yes.
their mother having gone through, because, you know, like Nika Costa had a song. She sent away her son, got back a flag.
Right.
That's heartbreaking.
Right.
Now I'm going to cry.
I knew you were gonna get yourself there. I knew that you were gonna get.
And so then, like,
What's amazing is to watch this whole thing in slow motion. And I said you're gonna get yourself there. You said, "Of course I'm not."
No.
And then you're there. No,
and then
it's
like
amazing.
he's sitting there, and like we're all just like at the Dodger game with like our peanuts all on the ground in our shoes, you know, our peanut shells.
Right.
And he's standing there with everyone, you know, the announcers announcing all of his accomplishments. We all stand up and take a moment to applaud him. He's sitting there with the pride of being acknowledged. But the juxtaposition for me, where I go in my head, is he has his whole experiential reference of like nearly losing his life 1,000,000 times a day, watching his, you know, fellow military brothers get killed right in front of him.
Yeah.
and the horrors of actual war.
Right.
Juxtaposed next to all of us at the Dodger game with peanuts in our teeth, like, yay,
Yeah.
military hero, yay. And he's like being acknowledged, but also at the same time, like, just been through fucking hell.
Right.
On behalf of what? Okay. Anyway, that's where I go. I go like, is it worth it really? So I'm very sensitive about the state of the human condition.
I love you. So we just want that was and you were holding back 90% of what you wanted to talk about just now. I know that you were holding back 90% of where you wanted to go.
I am woman, hear me roar.
I know. You need to do your own podcast.
No, it's
that
not
is the more-
political. It's not political. It's human.
It's
Like,
human.
I don't like seeing humans die. Like, because I know I'm the odd man out. I don't like seeing humans die. I don't like seeing, like, isn't this a hilarious podcast?
No, I'm letting it go. I used to get
No, I'm done.
I'm
not
sphinctery on this
No,
stuff.
no, I'm
now
done.
I'm like,
I'm done.
no,
I don't get soapboxy the way I used to, though.
No, it's just
Right?
You
I used
are-
to get really soapboxy.
You have a deep well. You are a deep well of emotion, life. Those are beautiful things. So I'm just letting you do it.
Okay.
I used to just be like, we're on a podcast. It's supposed to be funny. Fuck it. It's not funny.
This is life.
It's not funny sometimes anyway. So I might as well just let you fucking sit there and
Talk
cry.
about something. You let me, like, attack something else other than you.
Yeah. It's a pressure. The lights off me for a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Cry away. So
I'm done.
Okay. So yeah. So Story does see if you're crying. I don't.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Or like something on TV, like a commercial that's touching, you know, and he'll be like,
Totally.
and he'll like, all of a sudden I see out of my peripheral vision. And he like turns and like, are you
Yeah.
crying?
Yes.
His glasses
He does.
looking at me.
He's so funny. Kids do things that are just that.
Well, it's so pure.
Yes. He has a lot of emotion. Certain kids are more in tune with emotion, and he's very in tune with emotion, so he connects up with it.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was going to talk
Were you
about.
going to talk about how I am exercising regularly now and how proud you are of me? Because I
Yes.
basically hadn't worked out in a year, which is unhealthy.
Okay.
Having nothing to do with shape of ass. It's not good for your heart.
Gotcha.
And I've been for the last month on the treadmill, but I need to up it. But I started off at 30 minutes a day.
It's amazing.
I've been doing 30 minutes every day. And then I noticed yesterday I couldn't ever jog for longer than like 3 to 5 minutes without my heart rate going really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been working on it every day. And I was able to jog at a pretty good quip, not run, but jog for 20 straight minutes without my heart rate going like above 160. And then I would recover. My heart rate within like 45 seconds would go down to 130. I think that's pretty good recovery time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I had a like major wardrobe malfunction in public, and that was my what's that? Not your warning call. What's it called when you wake up call?
It was a wake up call. Jen had a wake up call.
I have it blocked because it was
Jenna
such a
had
wake up call.
Jenna
I
had
had
a
a
wake-up
very
call.
public, embarrassing. Thank God no paparazzi caught it. Wardrobe malfunction
Yes.
at the airport, and I was like, "This is because I'm not working out, and the
Mm.
pants that did fit me." Yeah.
What'd they do?
Well, it was wool and it didn't have a lot of give and it was cut on the bias. And
It was what?
It's called cut on the bias. It's like how you seam fabric on the angle of the weave is not up and down. It's on like a diagonal.
That
And as it is, wool doesn't really have much give.
that's some textile funk you just dropped.
Yeah.
Cut on the bias, okay? So it was not cut on the bias?
No, it was cut on
It
the
was
bias.
cut on the bias.
Which is sort of like, it's on a diagonal than the pattern. So in terms of like when you sit down and bend your legs or
So-
do different
so it was
things,
cut on the
it
bias,
really doesn't have a
And
lot
you
of
split
give.
the anus.
So I go through LAX. There's always paparazzi there. And then I go to someone else was paying for my flight. So I was able to be in first class in the crown room thing or whatever it's called, in the VIP loungy poo thing. And I sit down. I'm talking to you on the phone. You were probably screaming in my ear or something. And I had some coffee. And then I was like, why does the right side of my leg feel looser in my pants than the left side? I thought, oh, is this like weird? Like, you know, did I lose weight in one leg and not in the other? Did I gain this in am I retaining a lot of water in my left leg and not in my right?
Oh
Why
my
is my
God.
right feel looser. And I looked down. It was right after I hung up the phone with you because I think I was just in a general state of discomfort.
Go ahead with your story.
Just kidding-ish. And I looked down, and the outside seam of my pants was completely burst open. Like, what's that, 6 inches? 6 inches long down the most unflattering part of a woman's outer thigh. You know, right above the knee, you're kind of good. You go up a little higher, and that's when the cellulite and all the like other stuff happens there.
I've been telling her that's 11 inches for so long that she may not have time. She may not have her inches worked out because I've been saying that's 11 inches for the last 27 years.
It was like a mile right on my thigh. And I was like, oh my God, like pants just literally, not just even like the seam came apart, the threads were like exploded.
Like they made
like
a
it was
statement.
a full on, and like my thigh is just oozing out of my pants.
They just made a statement.
Yes. And I was like, what? When did that happen? And oh my God, was it when the paparazzi took photos of me outside? And oh my God, am I about to have like the most humiliating wardrobe malfunction? Like, oh my God. And I now have to fly across the country to New York.
Right.
I don't have a backup pair of pants in my
Right.
carry-on.
Right.
I don't have a needle and thread. What the hell am I going to do? I'm flying first class to New York City. What the hell?
So what do you do?
So I started asking some of the like friendlier looking female faces in the club. What do you call the club? The like
Lounges. Just the
in the lounge. I was like, hi. And I'm having to walk through the lounge holding with my hand on my thigh, holding my pants together. And I'm like, and I have my carry-on, my purse. I'm like, I just leave it there hoping no one's going to steal my stuff as I go around begging for a needle and thread. So I'm gimping around and, you know, people are looking at me and they recognize me. And it's like the show's been, you know, like the show's on the air. It's being promoted. Like I'm a little bit more recognizable and in people's minds. And I'm just like dying. And I'm like, hi. My pants ripped. Do you have a needle and thread? Oh, and they felt so bad for me. And they're like, and they give it a thought for a sec. No, it's in my checked baggage. I was like, yeah,
bring a
me
needle
too.
on the plane.
You might be able to, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I asked a few ladies. None of them had any. And it didn't look like there was any fellows who might have any. So then
Any fellow that had a needle and thread
well, that would be
could
wonderful.
have been a seamstress.
Well, some fellows might have it.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm like, well, let me go down to. Then I asked one of the a lady who worked there who was sort of cleaning up the cups. I was like, do you have a needle and thread? Is there a needle and thread? And she's like, go down to the magazine shop. I think they have one there. So I had to get my carry-on, my purse, and somehow also have my hand on my thigh while holding my purse and rolling carry-on. And I went down there while trying to really make sure no one saw my busted out thigh through my pants. And I asked, and the girl, there's like lines. It was like the longest lines at every register. And if you walk up, go, excuse me, it's like you're just butting in.
Yeah.
Everyone's waiting in line, and you look like the asshole. And then especially if you're recognizable, you're like a double asshole. And then I'm like, I'm not going to stand in these lines just to find out. And so I was looking. I didn't see any, but I thought maybe they're in some random place. And I'm walking around the whole crowded store with my carry-on, bumping into people, trying to keep my pants covered. Excuse me. Just like a total kerfuffle fuck. And they didn't have any.
No.
Because I waited for a break when someone paid before the next customer went up. I was like, hey, excuse me really quick. Do you have needle and thread? No, sorry. And they did that like pseudo sympathy. Like, I was like, okay. And I'm like working up a sweat.
Sure.
I was like sweating.
You got a busted thigh.
I got a busted thigh. I'm in wool pants. I don't know what I was thinking. And I got like a leather jacket on. I was like hot. And I was like worked up, like my endocrine system was going because I was in a state of embarrassment. And so I'm just starting to steam, and you just that steam, you can almost feel like the steam of your face rising into your bangs,
Yeah.
and then it gets trapped between your bangs and your forehead, and it just creates more precipitation. And there's something about airports that are just especially stuffy for some reason.
Yes.
So anyhow, I have to work my way back to the lounge, and I go up to the front desk, which also had a line because flights were being canceled, delayed. I don't know. There was like this whole drama going on. And I was like, excuse me, do you have a needle and thread? Yes, I do. I was like, oh, I should have asked you for. Okay, great. So anyway, she pulls out like a prescription bottle, an empty prescription bottle that had a needle in it. And gave me a box of thread. I picked the thread. And then I was like, this is so embarrassing. I had to go find a back room, like a dog that needed to go behind a tree to poo. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I'm trying go. I didn't want to go into the bathroom because there's nowhere to sit. And I needed to sit down. So yeah, I go around this corner.
Toilet, and that would be totally not fun.
Yeah, no bueno. And so I go around this corner, and it's there's this really funny couple there. And they see what I'm doing. And he was like, I have a spare pair of pants and I have some sweats in my bag. Do you want to borrow them so you could take those off and sew them? I was like, thank you. No, but thank you so much.
My God.
And I was like, I'm just going to power through this and I'll be your entertainment for the next hour while I try and sew my pants. Because the threads are busted. So it's not just a simple stitch job on the seam. Has anyone turned us off yet? Is this going way too long? Does anyone give a shit about my pants?
It's a story. We got ourselves a real story here, Jenna. I like seeing you work yourself through these things.
So anyway, I sat there badly stitching my pants. Oh, no. Here's what happened. It was the teeniest thread, okay? And like the hole on it to put the thread through was so microscopic, I couldn't even see. And the girl's like, do you need my glass? I already had my glasses on. She's like, do you need my glasses? I was like, that's one too many pathetic things. She's like, want me to do it for you? I was like, no, I'm going to thread my own thing and just like... Because I'll be in a worse sweat if I now have to have you either thread my needle or I have to wear your glasses. Right. Like, that's one too many things as a woman I cannot handle right now. I'd rather suffer than do that. So I'm like a teenage boy trying to get it in, and it's just like not happening. So then I'm like, fuck, I need a bigger needle. This is ridiculous. Like, come on. Why do I have to? So I go back to the lady. I'm like, is there a bigger needle? I know this is crazy. And she's like, no, that's the only one. And she's like, well, I don't know. No. And the lady's like, no, we have more. I was like, oh. So she gave me a big needle with a big hole. Got in there. I was like the worst hack job.
But it just held it together.
Got it done. I got it done. And then the man and the lady gave me a little applause.
They did.
And then I got on the plane and Sam Jackson was sitting right across from me. But then I was completely introverted and embarrassed about what a bad job I did because they were striped pants.
Like a Frankenstein stitch job.
It was a Frankenstein stitch job. And because they were stripes,
yes.
It was like this. And so it was like right on my thigh was like a zigzag with like stripes. And so every time I got up to go to the bathroom, because he was on my right and it was the right side of my pants that was busted.
Yeah.
And of course, Sam Jackson's not going to be looking at my pants. But for me, evereverody was staring at my pants. Yeah.
He was looking at your ass.
Well, I wasn't much to look at because I hadn't been exercising.
well.
But I've been exercising now.
But here's the thing.
It's getting better, I think.
But here's the thing. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is the mode of today for a bigger ass to sort of... People are into bigger butts. So Samuel Jackson, along with many of the other men of the world, want a bigger butt.
Okay. Well, it's not the size. It's the... shape.
Your butt is as good as I remember your butt. You have a great ass. You've always had a great ass. You have a dancer's ass. And it...
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
I feel like I should just stop you now.
Yes.
Before...
I can't remember...
While I'm on a compliment about my butt.
Did I ever tell the Hudsucker Proxy audition on the podcast? Do you know?
No.
You don't know if I did or not?
No, I don't think so, because I don't remember what that is.
I had an audition for the Coen Brothers film Hudsucker Proxy.
Yeah.
This was 1993 or 94. And I was going through a stage of my life where I was wearing cut-off Levi's, very baggy cut-off Levi's. Because
what do you mean cut off, like under the knee, at the calf, above the knee?
Like at the knee, grunge, cut-off 501s.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember you had those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd wear them with Converse.
I'd wear them with Converse, and they were very baggy. It was the grunge, right? And
yeah.
I was wearing my cut-off.
You were like Jewish Kurt Cobain.
Yes, I was Kurt Cobainski. And I had an audition for a Coen Brothers film called Hudsucker Proxy. And I was playing, the audition was for an elevator boy that speaks really, really fast. What takes 40 years to go up and 3 seconds to come down? Hudsucker, Hudsucker, right? Like it's this whole elevator cadence, elevator boy from like the 1940s or something. So I do the audition and let's say that, and the casting director's there with a camera. And I do the audition sitting, which was an awkward audition to do sitting because
He's like standing.
He's
He's
standing.
running the elevator boy.
And
He's the elevator boy.
That's right. And I go to stand up, and as I go to stand up, I look down, and I notice that my left ball sack is completely out of a hole in my 501s, in my jeans.
Oh my God, honey!
It is squid and sea urchin, like completely pink testicle. Completely has come out and is just flopped for the it's a cameraman and a camera. And at that point,
wait, had you been acting?
I had done the entire audition and I was standing to leave. So I'd done the audition and I was standing to leave.
So your ball's on camera.
It's on so here's the thing.
Auditioning for Hudsucker Proxy.
So
your ball was the elevator boy.
Stand up to leave, and once the stand up happens, I now stand. The ball goes away as I stand. And now you can't say, did I just do that whole audition with my left ball hanging out? Which, of course, I did, but the moment to say it is now done. And I know the casting director saw it, and I know the camera recorded it because it was not a little thing. It was absolutely a full left ball sack. It was sea urchin and it was octopus. It was the whole thing. So,
oh my God.
Anyway, here's the thing. I didn't get the part, but
your left ball didn't qualify.
But that story became well known, and there is some sort of book out there of worst audition stories ever. And my story is in that book, but it's anonymous. I did it I made sure that my name isn't actually there.
You just blew that now.
So if you ever hear about the left ball sack,
no longer anonymous,
came out on the Hudsucker Proxy audition for the 1990s Coen Brothers film, that was my left ball sack. And I'm just hoping one of these days, like some video surfaces, because I feel like I could like back then I would have died, but I could experience seeing a nice young ball sack on a bad VHS.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you flop sweat so bad the moment you noticed
it was
that?
Standing and leaving.
Did you get out of there so fast?
Yeah, I got out of there really fast. Yeah, I was in, but part of me was in shock of like, shit, did it like squeeze out midway through? Did it like, how they move a little bit? Boxers. I was wearing boxers, but the old style boxers. This is before boxer briefs. It was the kind of boxers that just looked like big, giant, baggy.
Did you have a hole in your boxers?
No, when you set everything, the boxers kind of climb.
And then your ball sort of squirted out the side?
Kind of went out the hole. No, it went out the hole. There was a hole in the jeans.
But how did it get out your underwear? Oh, it went out the bottom of your underwear and then through the hole in your jeans. That's a lot of physics that needs to happen to accomplish that. That's horrible.
You know how balls, you ever just looked at balls and they'll just kind of move?
Yes, they're like sea anemones.
Yeah, they just do their own thing, right? They're kind of like, it's very Avatar. It's very early James Cameron. So I imagine in my mind it probably like did probably like a little starfish or something just kind of came out and was like, "Rrr." But
like, I have some ideas on how this scene should go.
Is that how you're going to read it? I once had an audition where I walked in and it was a room full of girls, and there was muffins everywhere, and I said,
what do you mean muffins?
They had. Okay, hang on now. There was actual pastry muffins all over the table for the producers.
I thought you were calling the girls muffins.
Well, I said, "What's the deal with chicks and muffins?" And I was meant because chicks always love muffins, and my agents got a call, and I was asked to never return to that casting office again. I didn't mean it like muff-in or anything. I just meant because all the girls that I know love muffins.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't you secretly, kind of in the back of your head, know exactly the joke you were making of double entendre?
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe so.
I mean, just cop to it.
Yeah, maybe now that you bring it up, I think there was a side of me that kind of was like, chicks and muffins. That's pretty awesome.
So you thought, I'm going to be real cute and funny right now.
I don't think I worked that part out. I don't think I went, I'm going to be cute and funny. I thought that was like an instinct, like, I'm cute and funny is automatic, so I just said it. What's the worst audition you've ever had?
I don't know if I can say it because I don't want that footage to resurface.
Oh, I know that you made out with a famous actor.
Yeah, George Clooney all the way. I've told that story a million times.
But you totally had an audition with him and you chose that opportunity to kiss him 7 or 8 times because that's what the scene called.
Because I'm intelligent.
And here's how intelligent you are, is that you should have ended up with him. He just sold his tequila company for $1.3 billion, so you could have also been a billionaire. But no, you chose to come home with me. So you can't say your worst audition ever?
I'll say this. I was under the impression that I had to kind of prove myself as an actor and make them not think of me as Dharma, but really that I am an actor.
Oh, no.
And somewhere I got in my head to go in character from the moment I walked in that door. And she was a questionable personality. This character was like
See, that could be kind of cool, though.
kind of like a whore, this character.
Semi-whore. Half whore.
And I went in the door. She was like, kind of a drug addict. So she was sort
Druggy
of
whore.
living in her own universe.
Okay.
And which was very different than Dharma and very different than me. And at the time, I mean, now I'm a drugged up whore, but
Now, you've always been kind of a druggy whore.
yeah. So and it was a really long wait. It was a very big director. And I was like, I'm going to show them that I can act. And I was in character the whole time in the hallway.
Yeah.
I was walking up and down that hallway in character, glaring at people.
Yeah.
And I was
dig
like
this.
really known as Dharma, so I think people just thought I'd lost my fucking mind.
Or that Dharma was just a major bitch.
Yes. Which is and
I like this.
and so then they say, "Okay, Jenna Elfman." And I'm like, I walk in. Chin up attitude. They're like, "So, how are you? Thanks for coming." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see how it goes." What do you want?
You're doing that
What do
whole
you
thing?
want? I'm like improving the character
Yeah.
now while they're trying to just like have a conversation.
Oh, no.
Like I'm
you've decided- and
really being an
Got it.
actor.
Okay, so
I'm
you're-
I'm the female Dustin Hoffman right now, and
You're
I'm a
doing improv.
genius, I think.
That is a little rough. You're doing an improv, and they just want to say, hi, Jenna, nice to see you. Let's get started. And you're in an
Yes.
improv.
Oh
You've
no, and
already
I'm
improv.
in it. I'm doing a thing.
That's
I'm
hardcore.
basically a psychotic person.
Yeah, no, it's just an actor.
No, but
They're
to them,
interchangeable. Yeah.
I'm a psychotic person.
Yeah.
Like completely somebody who seems displaced in
Yeah.
their time and disassociated
Yeah.
entirely. And so then I just launch right into it. And then I did do something in that audition that I'm not going to say because that is the footage that I do not want to have surface.
Did you take a shit in the corner?
No, not that bad.
Tell me, be honest with me, did you take a shit
No,
in the
don't do
corner?
worse than
Okay.
to try and get me to say it.
You took a shit
I'm saying,
in
no,
the
it
corner.
wasn't that bad. What I did was, that's what you're trying to do. I did not take a shit in the corner.
He's hunkered down.
I
and
revealed
pinched
a
loaf.
part of my anatomy.
You did, a tit. You put a tit out. You pulled a tit out. You pulled a tit out. There's going to be some great footage of
It was a
Jenna
great,
tit.
like, 29-year-old boobie.
Okay, I can't wait for that.
Pre-children.
I can't wait for that footage to surface. There's a great
Bad
little Jenna tit.
acting. Like, I was so in it
How did you pull
that
it out?
I felt I was
Were
doing
you
good
just
acting.
were you just like, here's my tit? Like,
No, like mid-scene, because I was like, you want this?
oh, you did like you want this and you
and
pulled
I
it down.
pulled it out.
Oh, yeah. I like
And the
this.
director was like,
Fuck
what
yeah.
the fuck is happening right now?
No, he didn't say that, did he?
No, his face.
Okay.
And the
Oh, I don't
casting
think it was what the fuck is
director...
happening. I think it was like, hell yeah.
No, because I was so weird coming in. And then the casting director looked over to her assistant like...
Oh, got it. Okay, so they
like,
did like,
what the fuck
what the
is
fuck?
happening?
Okay, got it.
What is she doing?
God, I hope that footage surfaces.
Like, it was so now I've just blown my cover. My tit's going to come out. It'll show up on YouTube somewhere and you'll all get to enjoy my boob. Fist pump. Fine. But it was really bad acting. So I'm
Yeah.
just coming out right now and saying bad
I hope
acting.
the casting office deleted the tape. I have a feeling it would have surfaced by now. I have a feeling that
I don't
tape
know. They
would've-
might just be waiting for the Choice Prime embarrassing moment to launch and seize the day to try and attempt to ruin my life. What I would do is I'd take the footage and I'd put it on my Instagram anyway and forward it because
Yeah,
I
you-
should be very proud of that 29-year-old booby.
You've always had a great rack. Do you?
But it was just... And then when I left, I didn't say goodbye. I didn't become Jenna. I just turned and left. And they're like, this is what she said, the cast director said as I left. Hopefully we'll get to see you next time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I knew I just
Oh my
shanked
gosh.
it and made very bad decisions. I was leaving and I went,
Ooh.
well, that didn't go over well.
Ooh.
And then it was a very long wait at the valet.
Oh, sure.
And I just wanted to leave so bad. And I was just at that valet. Boy, they couldn't have taken longer. It was so embarrassing.
Do you remember the
Because then other people who saw me in the hallway were now coming down to get there. Like, it was...
Do you remember the director Jan de Bon? He did Twister
Yeah.
and Speed, right?
Yeah.
I auditioned for Jan de Bon, and he had.
Is it Jan de Bon or Jan de Bont?
Well, I think the T is silent. Like in cunt. Like it's just cunt.
You got that from Morgan Murphy.
That was such a great stand-up act she did.
Yeah.
Jan de Bon. I walked in and he had he was in a double arm cast. So he was like this.
Poor guy. That's awful.
And so I said, hey, hi, Jan, nice to meet you. How's your week been? And he didn't.
Was he able to flip you off?
He just glared at. He couldn't do anything. He didn't like it. He just glared at me. I thought that was a funny thing to say for a guy that's in like 2 arm casts.
Like, how's your week been?
Yeah. And then another one was I had a producers meeting, like it was like a room full of
He
producers.
must have been very sexually frustrated.
God, can you imagine?
Boy.
You can't do anything.
Can't do nothing.
Or you just demand others do it.
Yeah. Oh.
Is he German? So he'd be like, you must yank this for me. You have to yank this.
Those Germans.
He's like, you have to do this yanking for me. I can't yank this. I can't. You have to. No, that's not how you do this. No, this is. Oh, you're making me so frustrated.
All right.
No,
We
you
got
have to
it.
yank it.
We got it.
No, hang on. No, I said, oh, no, that's not how it goes. Scheiße. Scheiße. Scheiße.
You're thinking you're very cute right now.
I went to an audition with a room full of producers, and I went in, I did the reading, and it was spectacular. And they all said, oh, God, Bodhi, great job. Nice to meet you. I said, thank you. And I turned around and walked out and walked right into a bookshelf. Went straight into it. Missed the door. Because it was that moment, the audition moment, where you're kind of slightly out of your head. You're like, oh, yeah, they love me. I was good. I went right into the bookshelf.
Did your books fall out?
Books fell, but not off. But like it totally was like.
That's so satisfying. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so horrifically. I mean, it's comedically
No,
satisfying.
and the timing of it was you couldn't ask for a better. Yeah, I did like, oh God, that was really embarrassing. They were like, oh, it's okay, you're still, this is funny. But
Did you get the job?
No, I didn't get a job. You know what it was for? Oh my God, it was for the TV show Wings. It was a callback to producers. Remember that show Wings? It was for the guy. What's the guy with 3 names? That guy got it. He did the movie Sideways. That actor. It was Hayden Church's part for Wings. Wasn't he in the show Wings? And he got that part, and I went to producers for it too, and I smashed into the bookshelf. Okay, there we go. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I feel like
the worst.
as I move into other things in my life, I definitely should recall all the interesting parts that I've auditioned for over the course of my life, and just do a recollection of the people that actually got the parts for me. Wouldn't that be sort of an interesting play?
I've had a thing where no, it's not true actually.
What?
Most of the jobs that I auditioned for that I didn't get, the movies it ended up being
They're all
horrible.
flops.
Yeah, but then I just realized there was one that wasn't. But
One. That's not bad.
yeah.
That's not bad. That's a pretty good stat.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Where are
I
you going
feel
right
like
now?
well,
Where's your
'cause
head?
I was trying to think about some other embarrassing auditions that I had. But then I can't remember.
No,
I know
I-
I've had them.
I-
I know I've had many where there was one. No matter what, I couldn't remember my lines. I'm holding my script.
Had that.
And then
Just-
even
yeah.
reading it, I couldn't find my
Yes.
place. Like it was as if my head was screwed on backwards and crooked,
Totally.
and like my nose was facing the other direction. Like I was so discombobulated.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you want to try it again? It's fine." I was like, "Yeah."
And you try it again, and you
And
still
then
can't get 'em.
even worse.
Yeah,
It was
totally.
even worse. It was as if my brain just stopped. And then she was like, and then I tried again 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was just as bad. Like
that
I couldn't make it. She goes, "You know what? That's fine."
Yeah.
And I had to,
Yeah, to just go.
okay. And then you have to do that turn and exit on it. It's okay. I was like, oh my God, I want to die right now.
Do you remember when you and I were casting that one project had kids in it, and in the audition the kid farted?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fantastic.
That was really
We were
funny.
We were casting a project. Had
He's
a
a
bunch
little
of kids in
chubby
it,
boy, too.
A little chubby boy, and in a scene in it, something made him laugh. Oh, he was two kids, and one of the kids said something that made the chubby kid laugh, and the chubby kid laughed and farted. And we all heard it, and then I went back and watched the tape again, and it was a spectacular fart. It was like a
Because you know what? We are all that
That
chubby kid who farts.
yeah in the audition.
In the audition. Like that's That's how I feel in life all the time.
A chubby kid that farts in an audition. Yeah,
That's my
how we all
life.
are.
That's how I feel every moment of my life is
Yeah.
sometimes.
I got it. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in to Kicking and Screaming. Make sure to subscribe. Kicking Screaming on iTunes. Subscribe, leave comments, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Fist bump, fellow chubby kid who farts at auditions.